So the next wave has started, all right? I've been warning about this for months, how once these harvests start coming in for major staple crops, we're gonna have massive issues, all right? And 2023 is gonna be a way bigger problem than 2022. You know, we've seen shortages on, you know, our favorite things. We've seen shortages on toilet paper, paper products, all that stuff. But this is going to be shortages on corn, flour, tomatoes, all right, cotton, even material, you know, clothes. There could be shortages for clothes. All right, let's dive into these numbers. These are incredible numbers. And if you are not getting prepared in some way, just 1% every day, 0.1% every day, that's the goal. That's the point of everything, is just you got to make some kind of progress every day, just a little bit, even if it's just throwing away some old food in your pantry to make room for more. All right, you got to do 0.1% every day, build on it, and then, you know, 1,000 days go by, you'll be at your goal 100%. So let's dive in these numbers. All right, it's the lowest corn harvest we've had in America, all right, since 2012. All right, in 10 years, in a decade, lowest harvest. Lowest winter wheat harvest, which is critical, all right, it makes a ton of our food supply is from winter wheat. And that's the lowest harvest since 1963. 1963. Can you believe that? That's, what is that, 50 years? All right, 49 years. The lowest harvest we've had. And what was the population back then? All right, it was probably a good harvest back then. They didn't have massive combines and industrial fertilizers the same way we do now. All right, it wasn't the same. Our yields, our harvests are supposed to be double, triple what they were 50 years ago. All right, this is crazy. And this is from farmers not being able to afford fertilizer. All right, I was talking about my video yesterday where China's warning farmers, you better replant your crops because the harvest, the yields are looking so low, so anemic, so pathetic. And parts of this one region feeds almost 500 million people in China, and they are having anemic results. And China's saying, hurry, you need to replant your crops right now before winter. Get as much as you can in the ground to grow again. All right, so this is serious. Lowest yields since 1963. Farmers in California are abandoning their fields. They're abandoning their lettuce and tomatoes and all their row crops, their vegetable crops, their annuals that they grow, all right, to save water, to save resources for their perennials. So they're focusing on their grapes, their almonds, you know, their fruit trees. Okay, that's what they're focused on because they don't want them to die, the plants to die from a drought, from lack of nutrients, whatever, because they have way more invested. It takes years and years to establish grapevines and fruit trees. Okay, it takes years for them just to start growing fruit, and then it takes years for them to reach their, you know, maximum size, like their stem gets thicker and has higher yield, produces more buds. Okay, so they have lots of time and effort invested into these plants, and they're literally saying, you know, screw the tomatoes, screw the lettuce right now. It's not worth it, even though they planted it and they grew it out, all right? But the yields are so low that it's just like, it's not worth it. And this is also happening with cotton. All right, so in places, over 70% of the cotton fields are just being left, all right, because the yields are just not worth it, because it takes money to get a tractor out there, okay? It takes money to get a diesel tractor out there, and you got to get people out there, you got to get workers out there. It takes a lot of effort, time, money, and effort, and they're saying the yields on their cotton is so low, they're not going to harvest on 70% of their fields in some places. This is insane. All right, so we could see clothing shortages too. That's something I always forget about, at least for preparing, is having extra clothes. You know, I barely have enough clothes just to wear every day. You've probably noticed I wear like 5 different shirts. All right, that's all I like to wear. That's all I have. I have a few more shirts, but I don't like wearing them. They're like old ratty shirts. They're 10 years old. All right, so I just wear the same shirts over and over. I need to get more shirts, all right, because they get holes in them, they get worn down. You need to get shoes, you need to get boots. My boots are so torn up. Ratty, look at this. Look at this. Look at that. That is not prepared. Not prepared. All right, blown out boot. So get boots too. Boots are like, you obviously don't have to always wear boots. I'm always wearing boots, but they're perfect for survival, for gardening, for homesteading. You can just do anything, hiking, whatever, anything, bugging out. You got your boots. It's just, I don't know. I like wearing boots. I feel sturdy, comfortable. You're ready for anything. You're wearing some boots, but try to stock up on stuff, you know, and think about your kids too. If you have kids, they grow so fast. They grow out of their clothes, you know. I just heard my chicken screaming. The heck was that? I'll have to go check on them. I'll try to get a little video of them at the end, so stay tuned for that. But they're probably just like fighting or laying an egg or something. But get your kids clothes too, because they're gonna grow out of stuff quick. So think like long term for them. You know, have multiple coats, you know, and just like have stuff that you're not gonna use, because it'll get wear and tear. Even stuff like, you know, you buy stuff brand new these days and it gets a hole in it in a week, you know, or you buy it and it has a hole in it from one of the little security things. They just stab it right through the shirt or whatever. So have stuff that you're just not even gonna wear, you know, even just a couple shirts, just a pack of shirts from Walmart or whatever, you can just stock away. That could be very helpful. And the prices of everything have gone up too. I was buying just like some basic shirts, basic stuff like that, socks at Walmart. So expensive just for black socks. It's like $20 just for a pack. Like I remember, I thought it was like $5, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it, but I remember being able to buy this pack for like $5 and it was almost $20. It was like $18.99 or something. So $20 with tax. So it's getting real out there, guys. And that's just another thing to stay prepared. But also these food shortages, all right? It's going to get real. All these top crops, grain, tomatoes, all right? Because they're just wiping out the tomatoes. They're like, it's not worth it. We need to focus on our almonds and our grapes because they have so much more time invested in them, all right? That's also another reason to get started on, if you want to have perennials, you want to have fruit trees, which are honestly critical for homesteading, permaculture, sustainability. Having fruit trees is definitely a critical part of that like web. If you are completely off the grid and homesteading in a survival scenario, definitely want to have fruit trees that could feed your animals. Even the rotten like peaches or apples or whatever, you can feed that to your pigs, you can feed that to your chickens, let them come in and clean it up, the ones that fall, and then they also fertilize it with their feces, you know. So it's a win-win. Fruit trees are definitely it. Once they're established, you don't really have to water them if you're not in a super arid climate. So get all this stuff established now. They're even saying, you know, it's more important because, yeah, you could just grow, you can get a tomato going in a few months. 2 months you could have a tomato, but you cannot have an apple, almonds, grapes, all these other things in 2 months. That's pretty much impossible. Maybe 2 years, you know, once it's established. So let me know what you guys are doing. What are you doing to get prepared? Even like we said, just 0.1%. You don't have to be planting fruit trees, even just like clearing out your pantry. Like we said, just getting rid of your old stuff. Just keep going, guys. Stay focused. Keep your eye on the ball. I've been telling you I'm exhausted, but even I'm just like trying to stay focused, stay on top of it, because we're about to have a bunch of projects on our hands. So if you guys want to see that, you guys like this stuff, please hit it up down there. And thank you guys for watching. You have a blessed day. Get your chickens, guys. We're out here boondocking with an RV, no power, in the forest, and we still got our chooks, all right? So no excuses, no excuses. Get those chooks, right? You got something to say?